Hello and welcome everybody to a Foundations draft. I'm Paul Cheon, and today we are once again mixing things up. We just went back-to-back drafts of Pioneer Masters, and now we're going to mix it up and go back to the mean streets of Foundations. I feel like doing a 2-and-2 split just kind of makes things a little bit interesting and just kind of breaks up the monotony of doing one set or another. Also, it's going to be really hard to follow up on the last two Pioneer Masters draft. We had the sick 5-color Chromanticore deck, followed by the mono blue block constructed Devotion deck. So take a step back, go back to the mean streets of Foundations where we came from earlier this month. All right, now before I head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Check out TCGplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether or not you need that booster box of Foundations or some singles to round out your constructed deck, because you might need to build some new decks after the recent bannings and unbannings, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below. Additionally, check out HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you need things such as deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more, HeavyPlay.com is the place to go, and make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. All right, here we go. Foundations. Going back and forth, and you know what? This is probably one of the absolute best cards you can open in the entire set. Sire of Seven Deaths, 7 mana, colorless card. Absolutely phenomenal. Really, really good. A little bit better in decks that can generate some mana, green, or a control deck that can draw a bunch of cards, but good in any deck. Outside of that, we have Bloom Tender, which is a nice mana card. Actually very good with Sire of Seven Deaths. Feybloom Trick is phenomenal. Very, very good in Standard too, apparently, but really, really good card as well. And then Stab would be the other consideration here at Common, although I think I would rank it kind of Sire of Seven Deaths, Feybloom Trick, and then the Stab. But very, very happy starting the draft with Sire of Seven Deaths. And then what do we want to follow that up with? We have two, I think, pretty good cards here. At Common, I believe the best option is Llanowar Elves, but then you also have access to the Vampire Gourmand. So that's the question, right? Do we want to do the sacrifice thing and take the Vampire Gourmand, or do we take the Llanowar Elves, which goes pretty well because it allows us to ramp into the Sire of Seven Deaths? You know, previously I would have just slammed the Gourmand, but you know what? I've just been feeling green recently, and Llanowar Elves is one of the reasons to go into green, and it's really good with the Sire of Deaths. Let's take the Llanowar Elves here over the Gourmand. I think the Gourmand is probably the better card. And had we taken the Gourmand, then we probably take the Stab here. I mean, we probably take the Stab here regardless. I don't think any of these green creatures are worthy of taking third pick. The nice thing about green is a lot of these cards you just get kind of late anyways. Things for me to consider are Stab, Think Twice, and I guess Zul Asher to some degree, but I do believe that Stab is better. And yeah, I'm going to take the Stab over the Think Twice. I know that black-green isn't necessarily the strongest color combination, but I'm just going to kind of play this by feel and just take what I think are going to be the best cards for our deck. Now we have the choice between Evolving Wilds. There's a Najani's Pridemate, which I'm not super high on unless you're doing the life gain thing. I actually do like Refute a fair amount. If I do end up maybe with a blue-black control deck, Refute would be the type of card that I'm looking for here. So I do think I'm going to take that over the Evolving Wilds because I just think it's a solid card to play. And this kind of leaves us pretty open, right? Are we blue-green? Are we blue-black? I don't know, but whatever we are, we're going to end up playing the Sire of Seven Deaths. That's a pretty late mild-mannered Librarian. I do think this card is excellent and just another nice card to play in your decks. Seeing a decent number of white cards to go with this, but pretty happy picking up the mild-mannered Librarian. That could mean that green is reasonably open, and then we can pair that with one of these two colors. Now, the only thing here is that green, I think, pairs best with both white and red, and not necessarily at its best with black and blue, but we'll still try to make this work. All right, so there's an overrun, but this doesn't feel like it's going to be an overrun deck. That is also a late Felidar Savior and a Bite Down. So really, really interesting pack here. Although notably, this is the first decent white card that I've seen. Now, it's a good one. It's a good one. We've seen some Cathar Commandos, but we haven't seen any Helpful Hunters or Banishing Lights, which leads me to believe that white might not be open. So I feel like the safe thing to do here is probably just take a Bite Down because we know that this is going to go into our deck and likely be very solid. And yep, Bite Down is going to be the card that I take here, even though I do think the Felidar Savior is slightly better. This is really interesting. Now, is white open? I'm seeing this Angel of Finality. There's also a Think Twice here, but I don't like Think Twice that much in blue-green. I'd rather just take one of these creatures. Do I just take a Thespian to kind of curve out and just continue taking the green cards? I think I will. Finality is fine, but I just feel like I still don't need to commit to a color yet. And Thespian is certainly something that I'm reasonably happy playing in this style of deck. And now that's a late Squad Rallier. This is one of my pet cards. You know how much I love the Squad Rallier here. But again, I can be black, I can be blue. I still don't want to commit. I can still just take Evolving Wilds here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Taking the Evolving Wild just keeps me a little bit more open here. And like I said, we've seen some white cards, but not super clear that white was absolutely the best thing to do. Here, I guess I will take the Soul Caller just because it has the highest chance of making my deck. But noting that we didn't see a whole lot of black after the stab, and now we're tabling Cathar Commandos. So yeah, you know, maybe green-white is just kind of on the table, and this is kind of what we need to be doing. Certainly could be a possibility here. Noting that right now, the Squad Rallier wouldn't even be that great, given that we just have a lot of 3-power cards, but we'll kind of play things kind of carefully here and just try to figure out what our second color should be. Probably not blue. I just saw Refute and a Think Twice late, and that's basically it. Certainly on the market for more cards like Llanowar Elves and such. Here we have the choice between Heroes Downfall, Stab. At white, there's just nothing I particularly love. I don't want to first pick Prideful Parent or Inspiring Paladin. So I think because these are not first pick worthy cards, I'm just going to take one of the black cards here, just because there's still a world where we can end up in black. And I like the unconditional nature of the Hero's Downfall. So let's go ahead and take that here, given that we already have the first copy of Stab. All right, moving on to pick number 2 here. I just want more Llanowar Elves. Is that too much to ask for? Now we have another pack where black isn't particularly strong. And Bushwhack, I'm not the biggest fan of, and not something that I really want to commit to second pick. So, like I said, there is an off chance that we were going to be white-green, and Helpful Hunter is fantastic. So I'm just going to take the Helpful Hunter here, and we're just kind of going back and forth, but I'm still just trying to figure out what my lane is, just kind of throughout the course of this draft here. Now, no green cards. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I guess we passed the Gourmand and the Stab. Infestation Stage isn't great in black-green, but it's playable. There's no white card that I want. There's a Campus Guide that's not really that impressive. Yeah, rough packs, but that's the nature of this format. That is the nature of this format. I want to go back to Pioneer Masters after this pack. All right, here we have Infernal Vessel versus Bake into a Pie. I mean, my curve is looking not great. We have some removal already, and this plays into the sacrifice card, so I will take the Infernal Vessel. All right. We have officially figured out our lane here. That is a pick 5 Vampire Nighthawk. Certainly not great with Llanowar Elves, but just a really solid card on rate. I do like the Snare Spinner, but that's a lot easier to pick up than a card like the Vampire Nighthawk. I don't mind Fake Your Own Death. This might be the best combat trick in the entire set, and I don't care for the Quake Strider Ceratops, so why don't we take Fake Your Own Death as combat trick number 1 here? And yeah, all right, we are now kind of figuring out where we need to be here. Now we have the choice between Billowing Shriekmass and Thornwood Falls if I wanted to splash a blue card. But black-green might be doing some self-mill stuff. I do have a Vampire Soul Caller. What blue cards would I even be interested in splashing? All right, you know, I feel like I might just need the playable, so why don't we go ahead and just take the Shriekmass here? Cackling Prowler is also fine. I'm not a big Revenge of the Rats fan. This does work with the Morbid stuff. Infestation Sage I also don't really like unless I have a lot of sacrifice cards, whereas a card like Infernal Vessel is just always kind of good. Pilfer I'll take, but hopefully not have to play. All the cards on the right are kind of in my maybe stack. Actually, I'm probably playing the Soul Caller here, but It'll just kind of depend on the rest of the deck. Green is super cut off in pack number 2, despite us passing almost no green. So that's really, really unfortunate. I guess they opened a Planeswalker or something. So we are a little bit light on playables. I can make things work with the cards that I have on the right side here, but yeah, was there a point while I was gone this weekend where people just decided they want to draft green again? What's happening? Nobody drafted green, like not that long ago. All right, well, anyways, I'm going to take Infernal Vessel here. I do like it more than the Ambush Wolf here. And our 3 mana cards are looking pretty good. Certainly, if I had that Vampire Gourmand, I'd be super happy about that. That would have gone super nicely with the Infernal Vessels. But this is just a good card by itself. Eaten Alive would be a great card to go with something like this. And now we have, wow. We get past the pack with Ashroot Animist, Celestial Armor, Llanowar Elves? That's insane. I mean, white did feel somewhat open given that we saw the late commandos, but it does feel a little bit late to do that. The question is, for me, because I think the Ashroot Animist is a more splashable card, do I take the Ashroot Animist or stay the course with Llanowar Elves? And I think the answer is stay the course with Llanowar Elves. I think this card is just excellent. You just can't have too many copies of this card in your deck. And our main game plan is to ramp up and play the Sire of Seven Deaths. So as much as I like the Animist, I'm going to stay 2 colors. I also have Vampire Nighthawk and Hero's Downfall. So do I really want to be playing a 3rd color anyways? So let's go with the Llanowar Elves. And now there's a Jungle Hollow, but I'll take Paradise Druid. 2 mana, 2/1 creature that also ramps me and taps for any color. This does open the door for a potential splash and makes it so that cards like the Vampire Soulcaller are better additions to this deck because we now have things to ramp into. Here I'll take a Gnarlid Colony just as a solid 2 mana play that we can also kind of play in the late game with all the mana creatures that we have. I do think I like that more than the Elfsworn Giant and the Needletooth Pack. Sunblessed Healer obviously also extremely strong, but I've committed to black at this point, so I'm just not going to take the Sunblessed Healer here. Yeah, and now with all these mana creatures, I'm really looking for that Snare Spinner. That we passed a couple of Snare Spinners. I think it was correct to do so in the instances that we did, but now I do want to find some mana sinks given that I have the Llanowar Elves and the Paradise Druid. So that's why I was saying that I wanted to take the Gnarly Colony, and that's also why I took the Mild Mannered Librarian. Of course, there is a Giada in this pack. Of course, of course. Now, we didn't see a ton of Angels, but white clearly pretty open here. There was the Celestial Armor along with the Giada, but we can't be too sad about, of course, taking another Llanowar Elves out of this pack. Now we'll take a bite down here. There's also a Micromancer. We do have a stab to get, but that's it. And we do need a little more interaction. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the bite down here over one of my favorite cards of the set in the Micromancer. This gives us access to 4 removal spells. Decent curve. Like I said, still need kind of more top-end stuff here. And might just be leaning on the value that you get from the Vampire Soulcallers, and then might even play the Billowing Shriekmass, because that's just a way to put more creatures into the graveyard with the Vampire Soulcallers. Wow, Zephyr and Empyrean Eagle, what the heck? Isn't blue-white supposed to be the best color combination? What's happening here? Here I'm just going to take Gnarlid Colony. Just another, like I said, 2 mana card that acts as a mana sink in the late game, and now I will take the Snare Spinner, which is exactly the type of card that this deck needed, just because I have 4 mana creatures in my deck. So honestly, if I pick up another Snare Spinner, I would be very happy. Now, was black the color to be in? I don't think so. So that's obviously disappointing, but this is the direction. We kind of chose this direction, and we're kind of sticking with it here. Wow, that's a Ruby as well. There's a Reclamation Sage and an Ambush Wolf. Which one do I like better? I'll just take Ambush Wolf. Just another random creature beat down win. And now we have a bunch of elves. Do we just take Dwinnen's Elite here? We have what? 3? Is this an elf? 4? 4 elves? Maybe I just want Needletooth Pack though. I just think this card's kind of weak though. Let's just take Dwinnen's Elite. You know what? I'll take Dwinnen. I'll take Dwinnen. And now I'll take... they're both pretty bad. I guess I'll take the Quake Strider Ceratops. Elsworn Giant is okay. Bunch of mediocre cards. We have lots of creatures. So, you know what? Honestly, the Billowing Shriekmass might be decent here, just as a way to fuel our graveyard for the double Vampire Soul Callers. That's kind of our late game. It's not the most impressive thing, but at least it's a plan. And we can probably play 16 lands with the 4 mana creatures that we have. So let's take a look here at our spells. Very, very few spells. Tons of creatures. And at least with the mana cards, we do just have plenty of things to do here. Let's cut a swamp. We certainly want more forests here, given all the mana creatures that we have. And I will play the Evolving Wilds because we have some double black cards in our deck. So this is it. I'm pretty sure this is it. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the Shriekmass, but I'm just kind of playing it here. It's got a little bit of evasion, and with the double Soul Caller, just as a way to just fuel our graveyard and then cast the Soul Caller on curve and get something big back. And taking a look at our sideboard here, we just don't really have a whole lot of other options. You could play Pilfer. I'm not the biggest fan of that. There's a Dwinin. I do have a bunch of elves. Maybe I take the Dwinin? Play the Dwinin? Yeah, you know, I actually do think, because this is an Anthem effect and I had picked up that late Elfsworn Giant, there's probably enough here where I can play the Gwynnin, and then probably just want to cut, like, either... The thing with the Ambush Wolf is that it's just a nice play after turn 1 Llanowar Elves. It doesn't really do that much, but I think I just want to play it just so I can get that 1-2 punch. So then the question is, do I cut a Cackling Prowler or a Billowing Shriekmass? Now, I don't have that much removal, and I don't really care about the 4 power stuff. Yeah, I actually think Cackling Prowler is the pick here, just because I think I like the utility that the other cards provide a little more. Whereas without a bunch of removal or sacrifice stuff, I'm just not going to be able to reliably grow the Prowler that often. So let's go with this. Golgari. Worst color combination. I know I should have been white-green. I know. But this is what we have. I still think green was pretty wide open. We have a bunch of Llanowar Elves and the Sire and multiple ways to get it back. So hopefully that's a good enough strategy for us. Now, before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Special shout out to all the patrons here. Thank you so much for all your support. It really means a lot. Without this support, it would be much more difficult for me to just continue making this content on a daily basis. Access to the Patreon will give you access to my Discord channel, which I do believe is a really great way to up your limited game. Okay. Round 1. On the play here, I'm going to keep... We have the Evolving Wilds. We're going to use that to go get that forest. Like I said, 16 lands with 4 mana creatures is more than enough, I feel. Let's just run out the gnarly... We have plenty of mana, things to do with our mana. So I'd rather just play out a bear here than hold it till it's a 4/4 Trampler. Hardfire Immolator is the play from our opponent. Don't care too much about that. Let's attack. Then let's play the Infernal Vessel. Just a really, really great blocker. I wonder if they attack me. Maybe. Okay, well, I'm not going to block, so... If they're going to use a removal spell, they might as well just do it now. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. They have 2 mana available. Just trying to figure out what I should do here. I'm not gonna attack. I'm just gonna pass, and I'm gonna wait till I can actually play this and pump it up. If they play a spell here in response, I'm gonna kill the Hardfire Immolator. Nothing, huh? All right. Attack. Goblin Surprise. Got him. I mean, got me, I guess. Or not. I guess they didn't get me. Huh. think I want to run out the librarian here because I'm far more interested in being able to get back the librarian if that's what ends up happening. Let's draw a card. That dragon is problematic, though, I will say. I could attack with the mild manner librarian as a bluff attack. Yeah, let's see what they do. I don't mind upgrading my vessel, to be fair. Alright, and now I'm going to kick the Gnarlid Colony here, because if I do, I can use the Bite Down to kill the dragon. 3 cards left in hand for the opponent, and we have a pretty formidable force here, so I think we're in a decent spot to try to race them, but of course they have 3 cards in hand still as well. Their hand probably chock full of great plays here. Actually, that one I don't mind so much. That one I don't mind so much. Okay, so now we get a 4-3. They have a 4-4 flyer and a 1-1. Huh, what do I want to do? I'm going to play Dwinin and pass. This gains me life as well. If they attack me with the dragon, I probably just take it, right? Like, how are they going to race what I have in play right now? Maybe the Gnarlid Colony is a good thing to bounce. Oh, looks like it's going to be Dwinin. Probably just want to use the stab on the bouncer. And I want to use my black mana here, so... And then if they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. Yep. So this is the really interesting thing. With Gnarlid Colony in play, all my things have trample. So I think this is just a lethal attack. Kaboom! Alright, got it done! Got it done. Feels great. Just playing green and black dorks, and we are now 1 win away from Mythic. That's always a good feeling. Alright, this time, let's get some Llanowar Elves in our opener. Alright, on the play here, got the turn 2 Paradise Druid. Very happy about that. Solid hand. No 1-drop from the opponent. So yeah, turn 2 Paradise Druid. And might just attack, right? Don't really care if they kill this. The thing is, if they, well, I mean, if they play a 2-mana creature, of course I'm not really interested in trading. Though Vampire Gourmand is quite nice. Gotta get those get the damage in, right? Even if this dies, even if this trades, I am pretty happy. I am not... Okay, I have things to do with 5 mana next turn, but even then, the trade is still totally fine. Yeah, if they burst lightning that's also fine. Reassembling Skeleton is also fine. I just don't see them attacking here. You're gonna sack your Skeleton? Okay. I mean, the nice thing here is they just haven't added to their board. So, I'm not super concerned here. But I will just kill this now. While they are tapped out. I guess I didn't add to my board either. And they did get to double spell with the Burst Lightning, so it wasn't too bad for them. I'm just going to play the Soul Caller just because I want a 3-2 flyer in play. The creature that I get back isn't all that relevant. Maybe I should have attacked. Trade, yeah, because they're not blocking. So trade 2 for 2 damage here with that flyer that I have. So that was far too conservative for me not to attack there, I think. Yeah, this was bad. This is very bad. Feels like it could be an eaten alive, sacking the reassembling skeleton here. We'll see. Ravenous Amulet. Okay. They are certainly going off here with the skeleton. So it's very slow though, so not attacking was really, really bad, I think. Yeah, they're just getting a lot of value here. And I absolutely should have attacked. I mean, this is all I have. We're playing Paradise Druid, Vampire Nighthawk. They're getting a lot of value off of the Ravenous Amulet plus the reassembling skeleton. And I do legitimately believe that not getting it for 2 points of damage there could have cost me. All right, attacking me. What the heck? This is probably a Gorehorn Raider or something. I'll take it, I guess. It feels very suspiciously like a Gorehorn Raider. There it is. Okay. It's just, I just get to upgrade here, I guess? So I gain life off of that. I'm going to save the Hero's Downfall, I think. But I'm not entirely sure if that's correct. Oh, is this a Burst Lightning? Wow, okay. I just feel like I want to save this for a big creature, right? So now we're on 6 mana. Vampire... Well, there you go. That is precisely the reason why you save your removal spells. Man, they're just finding so many different little ways to gain life. It's very annoying. Alright, let's shuffle this, get a forest, kill the Nighthawk. Drain me again. Alright, this is, I mean, we're just kind of all in on our 2 creatures here. That was a really good draw. It's a mana sink. I mean, this is why I said I think the Snare Spinner is quite important black-green, with especially with all of our mana creatures. So I'm pretty happy with this draw. Kellen. Oh, that's really good. Oh, wow. They didn't actually upgrade it. Huh. They could have turned this into a double striker. That's really interesting. I feel like they have a combat trick, though. Just the way that they tapped and they didn't use this. So I'm just going to actually attack with my Nighthawk. Play this in case they have Burglar Rat. Okay. I'll just block with the Snare Spinner if they attack me. Okay. I mean, this is telling me they likely have a combat trick here, but this doesn't get trample. So I can just block with the Snare Spinner and force a combat trick of some kind. It feels like a fake your own death. They kept up 2 mana. Could be Sure Strike. Okay, sure. Goblin Surprise. But now they're just dead to my flyer. Okay. Alright. They had some engines going here, but we were able to pull away. Vampire Nighthawk, very good. And you know what that means? Back to Mythic, baby. 2-0. Love to see that. Love to see that. All right. Let's go for 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Alrighty, 2-0. No, where are my Llanowar Elves? I have 3 of them. That's how you judge whether or not a green deck is good. I've said this in the past. Gonna keep this here still. We do have the turn 2 Wary Thespian to help us find land number 3. Possibly even land number 4. Stupid Infestation Sage. Okay. Just play out the vessel. Our army of X1's not ideal. Oh, Phyrexian Arena is a tilter, isn't it? It is surely a tilter. And there's the Llanowar Elf, just in time. Just in time. I'm sure my mid-range deck that can't attack, that gets brickwalled by Infestation Sage, can handle a Phyrexian Arena. I'm sure it can. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah, you know what? The way I look at this is, it's kind of one of those, anything bad that could have happened, happened, right? It is what it is. What an absolute beating that was. Alright, well, hopefully I can ambush this Sanguine Siphoner. Exile the Infestation Sage. I mean, obviously they can have a removal spell, but it's fine. Alright, I have been turned into a pie. Alright, any forest would be great. It's the worst possible. I'll play this just because I have nothing else to play. Yeah, I mean, this arena with all the life gain, this is exactly the type of matchup where Arena really shines. And it's drawn them 3 cards. It's going to draw them more. They have a sacrifice effect too? That's gross. Eaten alive? You know, instances like this, you just kind of shake your opponent's hand. And you just tell yourself, good beats. The beats were in fact good. Might as well grab a 4-mana 4/4 flyer, I guess. If I draw Llanowar Elf, it's not bad. Yeah, no, their deck looks fantastic. Actually looks fantastic. I might just be dead here, to be honest. Oh, there's my forests for my other 2 cards. A removal spell on Billowing Shriekmass, and that'll likely just do it. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Look, we hit Mythic. That's the important part. Did I think my deck was fantastic? Not particularly. But I also didn't think I was going to win after they played an Arena and Seeker's Follied and killed 3 of my creatures. So that was one of those. Everything lined up poorly for us. Well, we lost like 100 rankings from that loss. All right. We have the Sire of 7 Deaths. It takes some to get to. But we do have double Infernal Vessel that'll certainly buy us time. We have 20 mana sources in our deck. I wish green had a way to draw cards. Or find a land. You know what I mean? I feel like green really could have used a Spineseeker Centipede. I guess you get Llanowar Elves. Or a Kavu Climber. Am I dating myself? Do any of you know what Kavu Climber is? Some kind of Kavu Climber variant. No Llanowar Elf again. I'm just gonna keep complaining about that because... Have we played a turn 1 ever? Somebody run it through a calculator. Alright, anyways, this hand is still totally fine. Turn 3 Infernal Vessel here can block the Plunderer. Ooh. Wow, that was a really nice Plunderer. They put Drakecatcher and Think Twice into the graveyard. So, looks like we are up against a very solid blue-black spells-based deck. Why did you think about that? I don't understand. What was the thought? Okay, I guess they didn't have a land? No, they have a land. Wait, no. They wouldn't loot if they didn't have a land. Never mind. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Eaten alive, sure. Just keep playing our things. Vessel, here's a question. If there's a land, do I keep it on top? Stab, I'll keep stab. Killing the Lookout seems somewhat useful. Like, I'll naturally draw my lands, and... Infernal Vessel does seem like a pretty problematic creature. And they, you know, the thing is, they used Eaten Alive on my Infernal Vessel. Or, sorry, on the Snare Spinner, not my Vessel. Which would be a really great thing to exile. This feels like a Micromancer into a Stab, maybe. Possibly an Eaten Alive, but I'm really hoping it's not a Stab. Okay. Beat downs. That's fine too. I'll keep that too. I'll kill you too. I'll just kill everything. Just kill everything. Nice stab. Nice stab. The way I look at it is I have the hero's downfall too, so... What, like, what are they going to do? Uncharted Voyage, I guess? Is kind of their hope, I think. A counter spell? I don't know. They didn't play stab. They didn't play think twice. What are you up to over there? You just like taking damage for free? Why didn't you main phase that thing twice? If you hit a land, you can play the land. Maybe there's a 5-mana spell in their hand? But if they did, then they probably would have cast that. Well, let's see how this deck plays out. I just need to get their life total low enough and pressure them enough where I can get them with the Sire of Seven Deaths. Okay. They might want to stab this vessel, I don't know. Brianborn Cutthroat, okay. Sure. Okay, so they're at 4 life, and I have 2 lethal attackers. I'm going to play the Librarian and activate immediately, just so if I draw a land, I can play it right away. That's perfect, because this means that if I draw land number 7 next turn, I can play out the Sire of Seven Deaths. Now, this does mean that I don't have the ability to cast Fake Your Own Death. Feels like it's worth it. The only bad thing is if they play Blasphemous Act, and then we'll know, if they do play Blasphemous Act, that this is a cursed draft. Wow, look at this. They even have Talisman of Dominance here, just fully representing the Dimir colors. Do you think they changed their sleeves based on the colors they play? Hardcore. Just think twice. Just think twice. Oh, yeah. All right, well. And they tap the black, too? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? You know what the issue is with this deck? I've done this plenty of times in the past. Sweetness overload. What do I mean by sweetness overload? A little too much card draw, a little too little action. All right, let's keep this going. Alrighty, opponent on the play, and you know, it's a fine hand. There's no Llanowar Elves, but we do have a 1-drop. We got Stab, Paradise Druid. Solid hand. Still not sure if Dwinen's even any good. Okay. Oh wow, nothing. That means they top deck the Windscarred Crag or something? I don't know. Nothing from the opponent. They could have Luminous Rebuke, I guess. Goblin Surprise. That's kind of the reason why I didn't attack with Mild-Mannered Librarian, although I didn't verbalize it. Alright, Vampire Nighthawk down, sure. They're Boros, you gotta attack. They're tokens, you just have no choice. It's the only option. Oh, this is an elf? Right, okay. I'll take that. But a nice tool to race against the Boros deck, which I do like. Wow. That, you know, that's just not suspect at all, opponent. What could they possibly have? Huh. Alright, what you got? Play what you need to play. Okay. They're certainly going wide. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Yep. Let's just pass. Another Goblin Surprise? Oh my goodness. Shocking. Well, I guess I have to be mindful of Goblin Surprise or Claws Out. But the reason why... Oh my gosh. Well. Okay. There is the Claws Out. Does that change anything else? No, not really. Okay. Now I can attack with this and gain 2 life. So that's also fine. I kind of want to keep the stab around. The question is, I'm at 10 life, so it's like, how do I want to proceed with attacks? Yeah, let's go. Let's beat you down. Play a 4/4 here. We have a 3/2 blocker as well, and we have stab available as a trick. Brazen Scourge, I don't care about. Oh, you know what? I guess I care a little bit about it. Do I let this trade happen? Nah. All right. Slow down their initial onslaught. That's a lot of goblin surprises. They must have a lot of things. Usually, yeah, I mean, they must have a lot of prideful parents and just a bunch of other ways to make tokens, because 3 is a lot of goblin surprises. I don't mind them in a like a blue-red spells deck with like, if I have double Balmor, that's really nice, but I haven't seen too many copies of that in a red-white deck. All right. Well, one of these days, okay? One of these days, we'll land War Elves. And when that day comes, we're probably going to lose. Okay. I kind of want to land. I think I'll just keep a land on top. Ooh, I don't think I... You know what? I will keep it. You know what? I will keep it. Stupid helpful hunter. A braid, huh? Okay. Oh, we beaten down. It's the only play we got. Oh, God. Nice Boros control deck, buddy. Alright, you know what? You know what? Fine. Fine. Okay. Sure. This Boros control deck might be a problem. Just saying. Squad Rallier, huh? I bet it's a Luminous Rebuke. It just feels far too convenient if they had a Luminous Rebuke. I'm going to play the Elves here just because I feel like having that extra green is going to be really important. Now, they do have a Squad Rallier, obviously. Wow. Yeah, I guess we take it. One does not simply just attack with the Squad Rallier. That means they have some kind of trick, most likely. They're just so far behind on board. Like, why on earth would you do that, right? Why are they... Is this sorcery speed? Like, what's happening here? I think it's the +1/+1 and flying thing. Oh, okay. What do I want to do here? They play super fast, by the way. Okay. This just kind of forces them to use their combat trick. Sure. What you got? Firebrand? Okay, that's a dead Llanowar Elves. Okay. We are all in on these. Here's my question. Do we just get in for maximum damage? I think so. We just go for it, I think. And just trample over for a bunch. They're at 2 life. And we pass. Surveil! Don't want the land. Boom! Honestly, did not expect to win that game. Honestly, did not expect to win that game. Just how things went back and forth. I guess they just didn't have any tricks or removal. It was just all creatures. All right, 5-1 somehow with Golgari. Quote unquote, the worst color combination. We have yet to deploy the Sire or go land turn 1 Llanowar Elves. It's still on the table. We are winning with Gnarlid Colonies and what? Ooh, playing against a rank 14 player. There it is! Of course, it's a hand with all green sources, but you know what? You know what? I don't care. We will find a swamp. A swamp off the top will be great. Nope, nope. That's okay. I see. I see. I did tell you that the hand where I have the Llanowar Elves in the opener, I'm probably going to lose. And it's going to be like this. It's going to be like this. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's go. Give me a swamp. Give me a swamp. I have 7 black sources and an Evolving Wilds in my deck. And interesting. Okay. Give me a swamp. Wow. Wow. I see. I see. I see how it is. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, deck. So sad. I mean, it truly is the saddest when you just can't cast your spells, right? That's the only thing. I feel like I gotta keep it though, right? 2 Forest Llanowar Elves and a Mild Manner Librarian with a bunch of single pip black cards. Feel like that's a keep? Yeah, I mean, this is kind of an unfortunate draw. Like, we've been able to somewhat do things every single turn, but it's just not... We're not truly able to leverage the power of the early Llanowar Elves that we had. And so now this is just kind of pretty mediocre. Looks like a fake your own death, maybe. What? Wow, that's aggressive. Was that like a bluff attack? Oh, this is a Tragic Banshee. No, oh, no, that's a Warden of the Cycle, sure. Bite down, please. Okay. Alright, how do I want to do this? I think I want to continue attacking, honestly. Then I'll play the Thespian. That'll surveil. Hopefully that can find me. Maybe they have Overrun and they're just trying to get me low. Oh, Sire of 7 Deaths. I'll see you later. You're too far away from being cast. I'll get you back with the Soul Color later when I draw Swamp. That's kind of the hope. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 9 is 17 damage. 17 minus 5 is 12. So if you have Overrun, I am dead. Wowzers. Okay. Are they gonna sack the Solemn? Okay. What is the Morbid? They gain 2 life, I see. Come on, where are my swamps? Hello? Vampire Nighthawk, jeez. That's really good. They're probably going to gain 2 life. This is kind of a close racing situation. And we have yet to find a swamp. I played it first just so I can trample over for a point of damage. But this is by no means a good spot for me. But I'm doing the best I can by playing half the cards in my deck. Or I can only just play half the cards, right? What? I mean, even if I draw a swamp, can I get out of this? I don't know. Burglar Rat, sure. I'll take the Hungry Ghoul, I guess. They should probably sack the Burglar Rat if they want a Wardens of the Cycle trigger, right? But maybe they want an extra blocker. Yeah, they should totally sack the Burglar Rat. That was a... what happened? Yeah, this is so brutal. I just... I don't think I'm dead, but... Well, I'm not immediately dead, but this is just such a terrible spot to be in. Like, Elfsworn Giant gets in front of Hungry Ghoul, Gnarled Colony gets in front of the Cackling Prowler. I take 4, I go to 1. And then they either draw cards or gain life. Forgot about Hungry Ghoul as an option. They can make the Hungry Ghoul live and deal 1 less damage to me by sacking the Vessel and the Burglar Rat. That's the thing. I mean, their decks just seemed fine. It was nothing special. It's just, you know, neither is our deck, to be fair, but we just weren't able to... We just... 17 cards deep, can't find a black source. That will happen. Now they can draw a card. Alright, I'm dead. Okay. Okay. Oh! Arena has a sense of humor. Swamp, top card of our library. Okay, you know what? I am very happy with 5 wins with this deck. So whatever the result is, we will live with it and keep things going. All right, now playing against Sam Black. What are you doing playing Foundations? I would have guessed that Sam Black would be on all the nonsense that you can do in Pioneer Masters. So this is a little... Color me surprised. Thornwood Falls. Am I surprised? Not at all. Of course I'm not surprised. It's Sam Black. I would expect nothing less than for Sam to lead with a 3-color special here. Hopefully the beatdowns here that we have will... oh my gosh. Gleaming Barrier Evolve. Oh my gosh. You crazy cook. Let him cook, as they say. All right. Oh, this actually literally is a Kavu Climber, isn't it? All right, at least we drew the stab, so now we can actually attack and kill the Gleaming Barrier if that's what we want to do. Sure. All right. I mean, I know they get the treasure, but getting a blocker out of the way here doesn't seem bad. Yeah, sure, Tatiova, do your thing. They get to draw some cards. Man, is this not just the most sandblack thing you've ever seen in your life? I love it. I love it. Alright, it's okay. We got a Snare Spinner in play. They have a million cards in hand, but hopefully this is kind of enough pressure here. I think they really want to kill Snare Spinner, though. I think that's the card that's kind of problematic. Wow, they involuntary employment into Eaten Alive. You know, if there's a matchup where all of this works, it's against a Golgari mid-range deck. Well, what are you? You are green... Okay, so you're green-black based, splashing Tatiova, and involuntary employment, I guess. Well, you know what? At least all of you get to view you get to view something cool happening here, right? This is a cool thing that happened. Like, obviously, any sweeper or whatever, you know, I'm not going to play around that. We're just going to try to get in and deal as much damage as possible. I'm sure they have a lot of action available to them. All right, gaining a bunch of land. Battle Song Berserker. Ooh. Dwinin is interesting. Huh. So if I play it and attack with... The thing is, my Mild Manner... I kind of want to pump my Mild Manner Librarian. See what I find. Okay, there was the land. Let's attack with the Flyer. Then we'll play Dwinin. I'm just trying to go super wide here. You know what's funny is actually Overrun would not have been bad in this deck. Just because we're so heavy on creatures. Alright, why don't we get a Sire of the Storm here now? Or a Vampire Soulcaller. Both would be fine options. Eaten Alive on the Flyer makes sense. Okay. Feybloom Trick? What you got? Bake into a pie. That's quite nice. Alright, we both get to surveil. I get to kill this Berserker. Don't want the land. Alright, 2 Llanowar Elves versus whatever he has. Okay. I wonder what the last card is. Oh, Burglar Rat, sure. Doesn't want that. Up to 11 life here. I'm certainly attacking. Might just want to surveil, sure. Wow. Ooh, Broken Wings. Alright, let's play the 5-3. Okay, didn't sack the food, interestingly enough. Elfsworn, their own Elfsworn Giant, and then they had a land? Oh my gosh, okay. Give me a removal spell. Or a Sire. Oh, that's a removal spell, let's go. I'm not attacking with Llanowar Elves. Mostly because I have the Sire, and I can't afford that trade to happen. But it's top deck mode. It is top deck mode. He's certainly drawn more lands than I have. He's drawn more cards than I have in general. There's 15 cards left in Sam's deck. Attack with the 1/1 I take. Alicia. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's gross. That is truly gross. Man. This thing has first strike too? I can't block with the elves. I need to have it for the Sire. Alright. Let's exile the Thespian. Okay, that is a Vampire Nighthawk. And now I can attack with the Elfsworn Giant. This thing has first strike. Okay. Probably chumping with a token. Okay, Vampire Nighthawk. We got a flyer. I don't need full control. Oof, close one. Can I just win with the Sire? Just a Sire off the top. Now, granted, that bite down was really nice. That bite down was really nice. I just, you know, there's just no world where I would ever draft this deck. I mean, I guess black-green and just splashing a bunch of stuff. And I guess if your mana is good enough, you play the Berserker. It's not great if you're more of a defensive deck, but... Double Burglar Rat, double Eaten Alive, Elvish Regrower, Bake into a Pie. Yeah, I can get behind all of that. Splashing Alicia is also fine, too. Oh, that's just... That's gross! You found something? What does this do? If you attack this turn, return target card with mana value less than or equal to Alicia's power. Okay. I wonder if that was a bluff attack to try to get something through. I just feel like I had no other option. Oh, no, it's a Gorehorn Raider. All right. Well, Alicia's off the battlefield. I'm happy about that. Okay, play the land, obviously. Don't want to trade, so we'll pass. All right, top deck mode once again. 11 cards left in Sam's deck. Just give me a Sire. They're at 6 life. They're looking at their graveyard, though. Is this a Macabre Waltz? Oh, maybe they're thinning out their deck. I don't know. Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, I'm certainly playing it. I just hope I don't hit my Sire. This should be a May. Can we all vote for Billowing Shriekmask to be a May ability? I don't like that. It's a oh, we immediately mill the Sire. We immediately mill the Sire. Are you? Come on. Just 3 spells on top. Oh man. Oh gosh. And then he draws the Burst Lightning. Oh goodness. All right. We have 1 recursive spell in our deck. Oh, no. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 4 lands left in their deck. We chill. 4, 5, 6, 7. How many lands in our deck? We have a lot of lands. 8. 8 of the cards left in our deck are lands. That is not good for us. Bake into a Pie on the Giant is decent. Yep. I hope he decks. Sam usually finds a way not to die by decking, but I really hope he decks. Sure. 3 Burglar Rats. That's a lot of Burglar Ratting. I don't really think I need the mana there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe I did. Do I have a... No, it got exiled. Okay. The thing is, I want to hold it in case they just keep playing more Burglar Rats. And like I said, I have lots of lands left in my deck. Did I scry anything to the bottom? Wary Thespian, okay. Kept on top. That could just be him not... Our opponent not wanting to deck. 3, 4, 5... Okay. Okay, we have Evolving Wilds. I will certainly play that. And I don't think there's a way for them to deck me, so I should probably try to thin out my deck and try to find something good. 4, 5. Oh my god. Of course! Why wouldn't you? Chandra Flamecaller in your deck as well. Man! It feels so bad. Billowing Shriekmass, milling the Sire of Seven Deaths. Sam nearly on the brink of getting decked out. Only for me to get Chandra Flameshapered away. Unreal. Unreal. Well, yeah, we certainly want to thin out our deck now. Man, that's crazy. All right. What do we have? Like I said, we have a lot of lands left in our deck. We have these 3 cards on the left. So Soul Caller or Bust, I guess. Land is not going to do it. Yep. Oh well. Oh well. We tried. We tried. I think this deck was definitely capable of some pretty solid draws, but a lot of them would have leaned on kind of Llanowar Elves and just kind of curving people out, and we just were almost never able to pull that off. We lost one game because we couldn't draw black mana, and then we lost to this awesomely fun brew here from Sam Black, so... But I don't think there's anything I can do to win this game now. Good game, though. Really good back and forth. And lost to a very strong limited player here who always drafts absolute nonsense and gets there some number of the time. But props to Sam for drafting a 4 or 5 color deck. Look, at this point, Foundations has been out long enough where you just kind of want to draft for fun and cook. And I totally understand that. Look, I'm drafting Golgari. It's not even necessarily where you always want to be. But this was the deck. We first picked the Sire of Seven Deaths. Black probably wasn't the color that we were supposed to be. Green definitely still felt reasonably open here, given that we have the triple Llanowar Elves and plenty of green playable cards here. I think if I were to do this again, maybe I probably should have just gone into green-white. I kind of waited too late to decide what my second color should be, I think, and ultimately ended up with this deck, which was fine. Absolutely fine, but I think green-white just work a lot better together. And Llanowar Elves doesn't work very well with a lot of the black spells, which are double black on top of that. So I think green-white was where we were supposed to be. But man, we never even got to cast this stupid thing. I never even cast it once. And then we had a decent deck set up for it too. But sometimes that happens, right? This thing, every time we had it, we couldn't cast it, which is the cost of putting a 7-mana card in your deck. And then there was, of course, the one time where we milled it with the Billowing Shriekmass. That happens. But you can never complain about a 5-win finish here. So pretty happy still. We profited on gems. I need those gems after losing 50,000 gems in the Arena Open. So I need to slowly get back into the 6 figures here. And we'll do it 1, 5, and 3 finish at a time. But that'll do it here. We did manage to hit Mythic, which is a success, and hopefully we can climb and see how high we can climb to close out this year. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I truly do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Shout out to all of the patrons. Additionally, check out tcgplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories, deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more. Check them out, heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. What a trap you are, Sire of Seven Deaths. What a trap you are. I'll see you tomorrow.